actually both me and Sargun are very, very grateful that whatever we do in some one way or the other is received, with love. But this show, I would have been disappointed if people wouldn't have received it well. In the last couple of years, the OTT revolution, so to say, that has entered the Indian entertainment scene. I think it's only, revolution at all times is just another word for evolution, right? When you consume good content, your brain evolves. So consuming a good film or a good show is quite like reading a good book.
Yeah.
You're never the same after reading it. The most exciting part about being an actor is to be able to step into a new pair of shoes, right? I had 11. So...
So today I have with me a very special team and a very special interview this is, because these are rare occasions where we actually get together to celebrate a show which is done so well. I have with me the team of Matsya Kaand. I have with me Ravi Dubey, the actor, and
Hello.
just killed it and how. We will talk about all of that. I also have with me Deepak Dhar, who's the CEO and founder of Banijay Asia. And I have with me Ajay Bhuyan, who's the director. First of all, welcome. And Happy New Year. What a Happy New Year indeed. For people who are still unaware, Matsya Kaand has crossed 100 million views within 30 days of its release. Am I wrong or am I right?
No, absolutely.
25.
Nice.
It's been a great year end actually. We ended the year on a high and it's still carrying on. Thanks to all the efforts that the entire team has put in. So it's been a great high closing of the last year and a great start. And we know as a team that we are sitting on something very strong, and it's only getting more and more consumed with every day passing by.
Yeah. That's amazing. Ravi, what do you have to say about that?
Just extremely grateful that something that all of us collectively put our best foot forward in has been received so well, and it is and that reception is continuing as we speak. Like Deepak sir said, that there are more and more people who are getting engaged with the show with every passing day. We already, when we launched on the 18th of November, in a week, 10 days, we'd be at the 2-month mark, and still it is engaging viewers. And 100 million number is something that that's really encouraged us. It seems like a pat on our back, and I'm sure Deepak sir, Ajay sir, and the entire MX team, Namesh and everyone, Gautam sir, they're all right now kind of writing and ideating and creating the next season of Matsya Kaand. So
we are going to talk about that definitely. Ajay, so what do you have to say about this craze that's happened ever since the show released, and it's continuing like the both of them said?
I'm just relieved because I made a promise to Gautam that I'll give you a good show, and it turned out to be better than good. So I'm just happy.
Lovely. But tell me, all of y'all, did you actually anticipate that this is how crazy it's going to get out there? Because, while you were in the process of it, while you knew that, this is something that you'll be working on, did you actually ever feel that, story point of view, say, a script point of view, say, it's actually so strong to literally take over, and how?
It will be a very cliched answer if I say that it will be good and all. I definitely knew we were onto something, but obviously, as creators, you tend not to think about the end result. You try and make every day as good as it can be, and that's what Ravi were striving. We never thought how well it'll do. We were happy at the end of the day. We were smiling even after a 24-hour shift. So I think that says a lot.
Right, Ravi, you have been obviously, getting so much love ever since forever. So were you anticipating the kind of crazy response? I mean, whatever you do, people actually do really appreciate it and love it, But ye to alag hi level hai. So tell me a little about that.
There are sometimes, that how do I say it? We are actually, both me and Sargun are very, very grateful that whatever we do in some one way or the other is received, with love. But this show, I would have been disappointed if people wouldn't have received it well, because मेरा जो 15 साल का करियर है वो एक तरफ, और जो मेरा फिजिकल, स्पिरिचुअल, मेंटल इन्वेस्टमेंट इस शो के लिए सिर्फ मेरा ही नहीं मगर हमारी पूरी टीम का भी, कि जो इस शो के लिए रहा है वो कुछ अलग ही है. ये हम लोगों के लिए, सबके लिए इट वाज अ वेरी डिफरेंट प्रोडक्ट. It wasn't a professional project. We were all personally so invested in this, and so of course, if it wouldn't have done well and people wouldn't have received it well, we would have kind of collected all the broken pieces and moved on. But we would have been, I know I can speak for myself. I would have to kind of explain myself. It's okay, life goes on. But I'm so glad and grateful that the show has done well.
Lovely. Deepak sir, you always with Banijay Asia, I was also reading the kind of shows and everything that you've had in the recent times. They've always been so different, be it the big picture, or be it something like Hostages, or be it something like Call My Agent more recently, and now with Matsya Kaand. सब बहुत ही different है, It's not something that you're only aiming towards one kind of show or one kind of entertainment. What was your idea behind, literally being behind Matsya Kaand?
Well, honestly, as a creator, I like and love doing different things, every day. So I, thanks to the team that we have here at Banijay Asia, we are actually developing, producing all sorts of, from factual documentaries to unscripted to scripted, from TV to OTT, from the traditional side of the content business to the more progressive side, or the more futuristic side as well. So we are actually developing and producing a lot. With respect to Matsya Kaand, what really gravitated all of us, and including me, has been the source material. I think this was waiting to happen. We didn't have a big con drama or a con series or a con character in the television or in the streaming space, right? We have a lot of international precedents of great heist, great con shows, so this in the Indian vocabulary was missing as a character, and in the milieu, strangely nobody looked at it. I think I must really compliment the MX team, Gautam, Namesh, the writing team, to have really found that need gap, and really then built it, So the credit really goes to the writing team, the MX player team, to have found what was the void amongst a lot of the content that's being built in the streaming space. I must really just thank my stars. I was in close proximity of this project, and in development, I got a wind of it and I completely lapped it on, and I wanted to do something very different. As you said, I'm used to doing a lot of things that are different. I think with different things comes different results. Sometimes it's successful, sometimes it's not so successful, but at least you can go back home and sleep saying that I'm trying to do different things each day. So that's the motivation behind this.
But that's actually really true, because success or failure, I'm sure you're learning a lot, throughout the process of it. And I actually looked up on your on the site, and I was just taking a look at all the shows that have been there. Most of them have been successes. I mean, I don't really know if there have been a lot of failures as such, but the shows and, the OTT space especially, because we've been consuming a lot of content on OTT, I have really enjoyed a few shows like Hostages or Call My Agent. Those are shows that I've actually genuinely really enjoyed. So I think it's actually a great thing that you found the little void that we had with the no con man, con story. And like you said, we have so many of those on the West, and people are actually watching those things, but we don't really have something in India, and I'm glad that we actually have it now with Matsya Kaand. Also talking a little about the digital surge that we've had, especially in the last 2 years. Tell me a little about that, because people today are not only watching content in Hindi or in English. They're watching content which is pan India and which is literally from across the world. Chahe wo French show ho ya wo Korean shows ho, people are loving it because it's actually available to them now. I want to know from all of you the kind of digital search that you've experienced, and do you think that has also helped in literally making Matsya Kaand what it is today?
From time to time, such revolution in the entertainment industry, it keeps happening, and it is also the need of the hour. You started with, go many decades back, and there was the transistor, and that was the only source of entertainment. And then few decades down the line, you had the black and white television, the transistor became a passe, and then, color television came, then black and white television was, thrown out of the houses, and then for a long time you just had one television channel, and after that satellite television came, and then that boom happened that catered to a large majority of the audience, and rural and urban, and now I think in the last couple of years, the OTT revolution, so to say, that has entered the Indian entertainment scene. I think it's only, revolution at all times is just another word for evolution, right? So as the Indian entertainment scene, the industry, it evolves, revolutions are going to continue happening. Yeah. And, the lockdown situation, it has been detrimental to all our lives. But when it comes to consumption of good content, it's been good because in that sense, when you consume good content, your brain evolves. So consuming a good film or a good show is quite like reading a good book.
Yeah.
You're never the same after reading it, or sampling a good character, or sampling a good story. So I think it was the need of the hour for consumers. It's also been the need of the hour for performers such as myself. It's also been the need of the hour for technicians who work behind the camera, because the OTT revolution has brought about this democratization of talent, of talent in front of the camera and behind the camera in the industry. And now you have space for everybody to come to the forefront, to have their own stage and prove their mettle. So I think it's the best thing that's happened. And as time passes, I'm sure it's going to get the tip is not, we're just scratching the surface with it. Abhi to tip aani baki hai.
But I actually really like what you said with a lot of these that we are coming across, who would ideally only be in films as side characters who you just see for one scene, and that's about it. Today they're headlining projects, which I think is amazing, because we're also getting to see how amazing they are as actors, and people are loving it. Those are experiments, those are risks which people might not want to take with films, but it's actually great that it's happening with the OTT revolution, as you said. Ajay, what do you have to say? The digital.
I'm super happy. I'm also very selfish. There's a new data which I just read yesterday that in Telugu, where I come from, there have been 20 debutant directors last year. And I'm sure it's across industry. So the emergence of so much talent. Yeah. Whereas 10 years back, there would be one debutant director per year. Now there are 10 debutant directors per year. And they're making great stuff. Okay, so now I have to compete with them. So my craft gets better. So I look at it in that sense, that I'm immensely happy that so many people are getting opportunities.
Yeah, that's actually lovely, because
and talented people.
Yeah, that's true. Exactly. Because I have not really, before this digital search, I never really consumed content from Telugu or Tamil or Malayalam,
Correct.
languages. And today I'm actually watching all those films, like even Deepak sir said, like how Pushpa is doing amazing today. Or so many films out there. And it's actually so cool that we can just sit at the comfort of our homes, be safe, and consume all this amazing content. But coming back to Matsya Kaand and to Ravi, the fact that you have undergone a physical transformation, and you also spoke about it in the beginning, and you've been speaking about it in all your interviews, and people have seen it. You're basically playing one character who has 11 disguises, if I may say so. And it's not just something that is physical. It's also, you also have to catch the dialect of it. You have to make sure that all the characters are different from each other, which, my friend, is a very difficult job, and you've done very, very well. Tell me a little about that, getting into that zone, because एक character में घुसने के लिए लोगों को इतना time लगता है कि यार कैसे करेंगे, क्या करेंगे, वो एक सुर पकड़ना होता है, like all these actors say, and like how you're doing it with 11 characters, please explain.
And the most exciting part about being an actor is to be able to step into a new pair of shoes, right? I had 11. So, yeah, so I think it's an opportunity that any actor. I mean, if it wouldn't have been me, it would have been somebody else. Would have just seized it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you can get a lot of opportunities which are, so to say, perception-wise, right up there. But for an actor, I think it's a platinum opportunity. To have a challenging character like Matsya, where every few minutes you see him in a completely new avatar, with a completely new dialect, with a completely new look. To say that it is difficult would be to undermine this. I think it's a beautiful and a glorious challenge that came our way. Not just myself as the performer, but also our way as a team collectively. Because when you have prosthetics involved, it's a challenging process for the production and the producer alike to manage the schedule of that day, because you have an added 9-hour to a 12-hour shift. 4.5 hours of getting into the makeup and around 2.5 hours of coming out of it as well.
Yeah.
And so production-wise, it's a very tedious job. In terms of scheduling, it becomes a very, very difficult job for the team. In terms of the makeup team, the creative team, it is a challenge that is unprecedented at its own level. So it's even though I was the face of it, but I think the challenge was the challenge was collective, and therefore the opportunity to learn or to kind of get a new skill set was also a collective opportunity. So for me, I mean, every time I think about Matsya Kaand, and every time I think about the fact that there were so many looks and there were so many disguises and so many dialects, I'm just that much better a performer after Matsya Kaand. So I'm full of gratitude for the show. More than I've ever been in my life.
Yeah, and it's actually great that it's been received so well. Lastly, I want to know, audience is looking forward to the second season. Kyuki, obviously they want to know what's going to happen. So what can you tell us?
That's Deepak sir and Ajay sir.
I can only say that it's going to be bigger and better. So that's all I can say as of now.
Deepak sir.
So I think they've conveniently deflected the ball towards. So I think the writing is underway, and we have to respect the process. We did respect the process in season 1, which is why the results are so fantastic, and all of us are very glad and happy for it. So we are just obviously respecting the process of writing it, but like Ajay said, it's really going to be a very, very tremendous effort, again, for the team to come together and, put it all together very soon. So I think the process has started. What's going to happen, I think let the writers, are really, really pushing themselves right now at this point in time.
So can we expect it to come out this year?
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
The idea.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely. We're working towards it, like I said. But having said that, we are in very dynamic world right now. Things are changing by the day, by the week. So obviously, but at this point in time, we're really focusing on writing and seeing where the characters are going to grow and go from here. So I think that maybe a few months down the line, we would be we will know where we are going with this.
Lovely. Okay, I think that makes all the Matsya Kaand fans really happy, because they have something bigger and better to look forward to. Yes, that brings me to the end of the conversation. Thank you so much, all of you all, for joining. This was a delight talking to all of you, to getting to know, the entire process behind it and whatnot. And congratulations again. This is huge. This is amazing. And really looking forward to the second season also.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shweta.
Thank you. Bye, guys. Take care. Stay safe.